Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Now, there was a comment posted, right, about a video I recently did. The video was basically asking the question if Terrence Crawford was in deep with the Saudis and their sovereign wealth fund. And the reason why I decided to have that conversation is because that's what we do on this channel. We just have conversations. A lot of the times we won't have anything definitive, but we come up with interesting talking points that could end up being true. But again, we don't have enough I would say data to with confidence conclude one thing or the other. That being said, when I look at Terrence Crawford and the position he's in, which is an amazing position, and how some people feel Terrence Crawford should sign with a promoter and should not try to guide his career on his own and hot wing it. Other people feel Terrence Crawford should stay independent, and by being independent, they think he has a better chance of making the most money. So again, Terrence Crawford being with the promoter or going independent, it all has to do with money first, then opportunities. Money is an opportunity. So let's just say it's all about the financial opportunities. Now, when we talk about those financial opportunities, for me anyway, it's like, let's go back to when he first broke away from Bob Arum, and he was trying to first make that Spence fight. Now I heard the talks about Warren Buffett and Terrence Crawford being friends. Let me tell y'all something. Terrence Crawford is Warren Buffett's favorite boxer. They're both from Nebraska. They do have a very close relationship. There's no doubt about that, right? That is a fact. Okay? Warren Buffett sharing his secrets on financial success with Terrence Crawford. That is a fact. What would make Warren Buffett sit down and open up and talk to a guy like Terrence Crawford? Well, one is they're both from Nebraska, but two is Terrence Crawford's cheap as hell, and so is Warren Buffett. And that was one of the attractions. And then from there, having a conversation, because they had some commonalities, and then having a conversation about different things, and then you fast forward to now there's a pretty sound relationship between the two. But that being said, when Terrence Crawford was trying to make that Earl Spence fight, and he was like, look, we got a guarantee, $50 million, 25 for me, 25 for you. Simple. Whether the fight does well or it underperforms, we still walk away, each of us, with $25 million apiece. Now, I've always said, it's my opinion, that money, now this is my opinion, I believe that money was going to be put up from Saudi Arabia, all right? I believe that. But there are some people who believe that Warren Buffett was going to put up $50 million of his own money and not worry about getting a return on his investment just because he loves Bud Crawford and they're both from Omaha, Nebraska. Now listen to me, party people in the house. Oh, shit, I'm trying not to laugh, right? I got to say, in the most respectful way, that I kindly request anyone who believes Warren Buffett is gonna put up $50 million and not be concerned about a return on his investment just because he likes Bud Crawford. I'm going to tell you this right now in the most respectful way, that you hold your horses. Let's not taking it to the stupid. Warren Buffett is just going to go into his wallet, pull out 50 million big ones, and say, hey, Crawford, I know you want to make this fight. You're my favorite fighter, not Mayweather. Hey, man, I'm going to give you 25 million. And look, I'll put up 25 million for Spence guaranteed. So you guys know you're going to be set the rest of your life. And hey, don't even worry about if the fight does well or not. Yeah, I may take a loss, but hey, it's okay. It's only 50 million. I'm worth gazillions. Let me tell y'all something. Warren Buffett driving, I think, a Subaru. It may be a 1980 Subaru. Y'all get out of here with this stupidness, man. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good to have a conversation. But the reason I'm doing this video is because you can see here, right? Someone posted on the video where I was asking the question about Terrence Crawford being, is he in deep with the Saudis and the Sovereign Wealth Fund? This guy comes on here, and that's what we want. We want to have people commenting on the video. And I have no issue with what this guy, Ricky Komodo, says. He says, now he's replying to my video about saying, hey, what the hell going on with Crawford? Where's he? How's he had his connections to Saudi Arabia, right? Does he have connections to the money out there? That Sovereign Wealth Fund is a fund the Saudis have to help grow the economy, and sports is one of the avenues they're using to try to put Saudi Arabia in a different light and to help grow the economy of Saudi. So he goes, Warren Buffett, Mutual of Omaha. Forget where Bud from and who has mentored him financially, unaware of what is all headquartered in Omaha and how the city supports. Now, y'all got to excuse me, right? Because, sometimes when people are writing on here, I know sometimes they think faster than they type, and it doesn't flow properly. So let's see what he says here. Warren Buffett, Mutual of Omaha, forgot where Bud from and who has mentored him financially. Okay, maybe he mentored him financially. Unaware of what is all headquartered in Omaha and how the city supports athletes that come from the city. Okay, maybe they do. The city supports the athletes. But you can't come out here and just talk about no damn Warren Buffett. Come on, get out of here. So I say, nope. I don't, I said, don't see a brilliant man like Warren taking a huge risk on anything or anyone. We know from where endless money has derived when it comes to a few boxing matches that have been made and are in work. And then some guy over here named Pops Beasley, he goes, wrong. And so I reply to Pops Beasley and I say, hey, so tell me what's right. And I say, you weren't ready for this argument. And that's why I decided to do this video, because there are a lot of people who would think that I'm wrong. Now, the thing is this. We know Terrence Crawford's relationship with Warren Buffett. I laughed through that segment trying to talk about it because I do think Warren Buffett will advise him. I think Warren Buffett will point him in the right direction and try to help Terrence Crawford grow his wealth and fortune. I think he may even go on a joint venture with Bud, and they may try to do some things. But I do not think Warren Buffett's going to be okay with putting up $50 million and just saying, hey, if I lose it, I lose it. Now, we understand there could be tax write-offs. There's all kind of different ways that maybe that $50 million coming from Warren Buffett is something to where it doesn't affect him at all, because maybe he has to put that $50 million somewhere anyway as a tax write-off. But I can't see a billionaire like him having to pay $50 million in taxes, because those guys know the tax laws, and 9 times out of 10, they're not paying taxes at all, or very little to none. And that's a fact. So if you ask me, okay, well, you don't agree with these guys, and they're talking about the $50 million. Well, where do you think it came from? Well, I'm going to tell you, I just said, I really think that money came from Saudi Arabia. I really think that, and when you look at what's going on with Saudi, right? Like, why wouldn't it? It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, it's Kinahan, the secret society. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. If I was, I would tell you that. No, what I think is, honestly, Terrence Crawford, he still has people who he knows and associates with And you know there's a huge interest in boxing in Saudi Arabia. They have endless money with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, the Public Investment Fund. I just explained to y'all what that is, right? That's over 700 million. Yeah, over 700 million sitting inside that fund. Just that money is used just to help the country of Saudi Arabia grow in areas that they focused on. The sports is one. So you can't tell me that those guys weren't like, hey, we'll give you here's a flat rate. This is what it's going to be. 25 million each, 50 million guaranteed. And I don't know from where the conversation could have gone, and I don't even know if the conversation had took place. But I would, just from what I know and taking a look at things, I would conclude that money was coming from over there, especially when you talk about a hedge fund and the way the Saudis are doing business. After Deontay Wilder came out and talked, and AJ and you hear Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and Tyson Fury and Usyk, they're offering flat rates. That's the key word, man. Like I locked into that when I heard them say that. I said, damn, that's the same thing that like Terrence Crawford was saying about the people who are trying to put the money up to make the Crawford and Spence fight. There was going to be a flat rate. No upside on pay-per-view, no nothing. It's a guarantee. If the fight does well, you get this. If it doesn't do well, you still get this. So that's why I concluded that the money was being put up, probably by Skills Challenge Promotion. And I mean, hey, to this day, we don't really know. But Warren Buffett, I'm not saying someone saying, hey, it could have came from Warren Buffett. You know what? I think that's fair. But I think it's funny. But I think it's fair because we don't know. But at the same time, why would it be a secret? If Warren Buffett was putting up 50 million, why the hell wouldn't Terrence Crawford want to say that? That would put everybody at ease because everybody know who Warren Buffett is. All these years, Warren Buffett has been doing what he's doing with investment and stuff and traveling the world and talking to people and just being who he is. I don't think I haven't Googled it. Maybe I should, but I don't think Warren Buffett has ever been mixed up in any drama, anything negative, or anything that would make somebody not want to take his 50 million guaranteed for both fighters to go and make a fight. But money coming from Saudi Arabia, people get uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, people look, the fact that the Irish mob, the cartel, the Daniel Kinahan guy was involved with boxing from the UK and ties to Saudi, ties throughout the Middle East, out there in India, and reportedly the illegal business of drug trafficking all through Africa and parts of the Middle East. Look, it's only right that people have apprehensions about money coming from Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? It's only right that they stop and say, whoa, well, let's sanitize check this and make sure everything is legit. Because nobody wants to be associated with that drama, man. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean Crawford is in with the cartel, but I'm sure he knows people who know people because he was being advised by this Kinahan guy. But that doesn't mean he's got the guy on speed dial. But there are people who are still in that circle who have gone on to try to grow boxing, and Crawford has, my understanding, he's familiar with them. And those people are all about making money in the sport of boxing. Why wouldn't they reach out to him knowing he's trying to make a big fight and knowing that money's the issue? Now, I don't know this. I'm just saying. It's a common sense guy who's like, that's a win-win for him and them. Something in a positive light. They're trying to do something that's legit. They got the money. And actually now, especially for me, understanding this whole thing about the public investment fund, the sovereign wealth fund, let me tell you something. I no longer believe this thing about the Irish mob, the cartel Kinahan funding boxing matches. I believe that if anything, he was probably advising on how that money in the sovereign wealth fund, some of that can be used and how to use it to grow boxing and to grow the attraction of sports and having sporting events in the kingdom. But that being said, Terrence Crawford, man, is doing something great in boxing. I don't believe Terrence Crawford is out here involved with anything wrong. I have no reason to believe that. I think it's only fair to have conversation. Look, man, what do they say, man? Guilty by association, right? And it's just how it is. That's always going to be a dark cloud hovering over Terrence Crawford's head, Bob Arum's head, Tyson Fury head, Eddie Hearn, AJ, all of them. Because, the fact is they've all had some kind of dealings with this guy, Kinahan. You know what I mean? That whole MTK Global crap. Look, that's a fact, man. Josh Taylor. There's a lot of different fighters that were involved with this. We just happen to be talking about probably the hottest fighter in boxing right now is Terrence Crawford. But I don't believe Terrence Crawford has anything foul going on. But I do believe Terrence Crawford promoting himself and doing it all on his own. I definitely believe Terrence Crawford is smart enough to say these people can feel what they want to feel, think what they want to think about me. I know people over there in Saudi. I know they're putting up huge money for fights. The money's clean. They got the sovereign wealth fund. Everything's legit. And people can accuse me of what they want. I'm going to go and make fights. And if they want to put the money up and it makes sense, I'm going to do a fight with those guys in my corner. And you know what, to be honest with you, why shouldn't Terrence Crawford do it when Tyson Fury's doing it? You understand? Ngannou's doing it. AJ's done it. Andy Ruiz has done it. Usyk's done it. Deontay Wilder's begging for them to put up millions of dollars for him to make a fight with AJ, which that seems like that ship has kind of sailed a little bit. Doesn't mean it won't turn around and pick them guys up, but the ship sailed. So I think Terrence Crawford should go out there and get that money. And I think he has a rapport already established. I think Earl Spence should. I think all these guys should. If you can go out there and make your money, go make it. It's a win-win. Ain't nobody putting up money out here in the States right now for these guys. All that damn days of fighting, nobody's making $5-6 million and getting paid under the table another $2-3 million. That's over, man. Go out there and get your money. But for anyone out there who's thinking Warren Buffett will put up $50 million and not be concerned about a return on his investment, let me tell you something. Don't take it to the stupid. In Saudi Arabia, putting up that money and thinking that they're not worried about a return on their investment, don't take it to the stupid. Because you know what? They may put up that $50 million, right? And that fight may underperform. So maybe they lose 10, 15 million. Hell, maybe they lose the whole 50 million. But you know what? They still get the return on their investment they're looking for, because they're not looking for a return monetarily. No, they're looking for eyes on the kingdom, seeing the kingdom in a positive light, seeing them having boxing events, seeing people starting to become curious and say, well, maybe it's not so bad over there. Getting people to start to focus on that instead of focusing on the human rights violations. Sports washing is what people call it. Call it what you want. But that's what's going on. So the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will be looking for a return on their investment, in my opinion. And Warren Buffett, for a fact, is looking for a return on his investment, because that man is cheap. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because I am too. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. And even shout out to these bozos for taking it to the stupid. Talking about Warren Buffett's just going to give up $50 million. Trying to check me and put me in the hot seat. Not ready for the argument. Understand things, man. Don't just be a bandwagonist because you heard somebody say something. I'm not that guy. I stop. When something don't make sense to me, I do my due diligence, do my research, and I say, okay, I still don't have any facts here, but for what I know, let me try to draw an educated conclusion here. And that's what we did. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I sure as hell think I'm more right than wrong. Y'all keep cool in the breeze.